Hello, in today's video I wanted to talk about the power of isolation and what you can do to actually properly improve yourself when you are staying on your own. And I'm going to talk about from my own experience because it so happens that I have been in this state for the last 5 years on and off basis. So stay with me because I really talk from the experience here and I will show you how to make the best of this time, and it really is a blessing as it is. My name is Daria. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I teach you how to live happier and more purposeful lives by the use of power of your brain and subconscious. If you like this video, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Wednesday and I may change your life. I also wanted to shout out to everybody in the current situation that is not so great, but it's so beautiful that we can still connect as a community and we can put all this good energy out there and go through the experience together as a collective and become better as a humanity. So I just wanted to send prayers to everybody who is now watching and connect through the heart with everybody. If you like to download my meditation, that is linked down below, you can do it for free and it is going to help you relieve the anxiety and tap into abundance matrix as opposed to fear matrix that is now overwhelming everybody. So now let's get into the video. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about the power of isolation and what are actually the things I've done for myself when I go into those times of isolation. And it's been, in my case, for about 5 years that I have been on and off this sort of situations. And the first time it happened, it was actually when I had to go back to my mom's house and to stay with her for as long as I had to, and I didn't know how much time that's going to be, whether it's going to be a month, 2 months, and so on. And eventually it turned out to be around 6 months that I stayed in a very little city close to the Ukrainian border where there is not really much to do, and I obviously didn't have any friends and none of it. So in being in that situation, I actually worked through a very interesting routine that then stuck with me after, and it really brought me to a completely new level of self-discovery, calmness. It actually gave me almost like a new personality, and it gave me a lot of tools to manage my life the way I wanted to be, as opposed to just react. I've learned actually to respond to things that were happening in my life. Then, things continued, and since that time, every year I get this kind of time when I am isolated. In the last 2 years, I, for example, lived for the majority of the year in Costa Rica, where, as much as it was a wonderful experience for me, I didn't have access to my friends, and I really was missing these female friendships or my friends that I left in Europe, for example. But that allowed me to create other friendships, and that allowed me to create different relationships with people, and again, work on myself more. And to be honest with you, in the last 2 years in Costa Rica, I put a lot of emphasis on my social media. I managed to grow my social media presence. I actually stepped back into my power completely. I managed to build relationships. I focused on different things, and as it turned out, the world didn't run away anywhere from me. The people who were meant to stay in my life as friends, they actually did stay. The people that were meant to go, they actually left my life. So at the end of the day, those times of isolation, if used properly, they're gonna bring you a massive growth, possibly even a personality change. They're going to reshuffle your relationships. They're going to reshuffle and detox your life from people that are not meant to stay there. and they are really wonderful times when used properly. So what are the three things that I really did and I keep on doing still after they stayed with me, because they are so powerful in terms of how my life has been since I've been isolating, or I've been forced to isolate. So number one is journaling. I started journaling when I first got into my mom's house, and I didn't know how long I'm going to stay there. And I was writing my thoughts after I woke up and before I went to sleep. I was then in a very receptive mode, so I was almost allowing for the words to come on a paper. And to be honest with you, after looking back at my notes, and I keep on doing that, I keep those journals just for the sake of it. There is another journal here with me, so I stuck to it like I really did. When I go back in my notes, it's quite unbelievable how many things are actually coming to life, how many things are just thoughts at a certain point of time, and they become the reality. So it's a wonderful way to check in with yourself, or of what you really want, what you really feel, and then going back to those thoughts, because they are really, really very powerful in the information that they carry for you about yourself. Number two, you wouldn't be surprised to hear about the meditation. So I meditate every day for about an hour, and I do Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations, including transcendental breathing, which awakens my pineal gland. And it's a very important part of my life. It's a time when I trip, when I connect to the higher power, where I create, where I get the clarity, where I get answers, where I get healing. So it provides me with a lot of things in this 1 hour of the day. So it's nothing lost, it's actually a lot of gain. And to be honest with you, when I started meditating, this was when I first isolated at my mom's place, and I was meditating a lot at that time because I really had to have the full reset of my body, of my mind, and I started really growing spiritually. But for those of you who haven't meditated, I would just advise you, as in my other videos, to just start small, to start even with 10 minutes a day. And when you're bored or when you're anxious, just go into another 10-minute meditation. As I said in my video down below, you can download my free guided meditation. It's 20 minutes long, and you can tap into the abundance matrix as opposed to the fear matrix. But myself, when I was isolated from everybody and everything, I was really meditating for 5-6 hours a day. And after maybe already a week, I started really, really noticing how I can generate all the happiness that I need in my life from within, and I don't need the external world for that. And then the external world really started changing for me and responding to that. It was quite magical and mind-blowing, so I advise you to do the same, to experience some of that magic. And number three was the exercising. Again, I always believed in the power of gym and like pushing it and having the trainer and the kind of group workouts where, you know, you're kind of competitive with other people and that pushes you further. And when I go back in time, when I went to my mom's place, I didn't have any gym there because it's a very small city. And the same was in Costa Rica. I wouldn't bother going for 1 hour to hit the gym somewhere. So I started using those YouTube workouts, and then eventually I bought a program of one of the people who is doing trainings online. And basically it's been working extremely well for me. When I was isolated, my eating regimen was just amazing. I wouldn't actually call it a diet, but it was almost like, because I was doing all those things for myself, I was journaling, I was meditating, I was exercising, so I kind of took the whole attention of food in a way. It didn't serve me anymore as anything but just fuel. So whenever I was hungry, I would just eat something, fuel myself up, and just kind of let it go for another few hours until I was hungry again. And actually in that time, and it was exactly 3 years ago, I really got into the best shape of my life. Before, I didn't have any sort of any kind of muscle definition of any of it, and after I actually started exercising those really simple exercises with the people who were publishing their videos on YouTube, like Boho Beautiful and the Body Coach and Ewa Chodakowska, that is a Polish amazing fitness trainer. I actually started seeing a huge difference, and I was shocked because for the whole life I was really sweating out myself at the gym, and I was really like doing all these crazy workouts and paying those fees for the gym, and it never brought me any kind of similar results to what I got when I got actually isolated and started working out on my own. And since then, there have been temporarily times where I go back to yoga as a group for a month or so, or I do some kind of specific yoga, Kundalini yoga, for example, workouts that it would be very difficult to do on my own, and part of the collective energy is the theme. But altogether, now I only work out on my own with those internet fitness, online fitness trainers, and it's been working amazing for me because I've got no excuses wherever I am to really stick to that workout. So remember, 3 things: journaling, meditation, and exercising while you're in isolation. In a week, 2 weeks are going to make a completely different person out of you, and you're gonna see, and I'm speaking from experience of somebody who was extremely extroverted and had all those beliefs that I can only get fit with a group classes, I can only get fit at the gym, I cannot meditate on my own because I'm going to be too distracted by my own thoughts, I need a teacher, or I can only meditate in a yoga studio where a teacher is very elevated, and so on and so on. All these excuses, all these beliefs is just rubbish, and try to do things on your own. If you try to do those 3 things, you will see they are going to stick with you post-isolation time. So if the next isolation comes, it's not gonna feel so bad anymore, but you're gonna know, like I know it almost every year, there's time comes to me on its own where I just isolate and I spend a lot of time away from my friends and the outside world. But it allows me to move my business forward, it allows me to become a better person, it allows me to clear and detox from those who are not meant to stay in my life. And while it's painful at the time when it's happening, it's actually a blessing. So it's a different type of tapping into yourself, and we in a very consumeric society do not give it enough credit. But try it and trust me, how then the new reality is going to align itself to new you. It's going to be just beautiful, and you're gonna feel very blessed. So that's all what I have today for you, and I'm sending you all the good energy and all the good vibes. And please don't forget to download my meditation. It's 20 minutes. It's definitely going to help you relieve some of the anxiety. I also do the sessions. Now I'm gonna do them online only. And if you need a free session, I'm happy to offer them to you if that's something you feel drawn to. So please don't hesitate to email me or send me the message on social media. And I send you blessings. Subscribe to my channel. I may be posting more often right now. And keep safe, keep positive, and work on yourself. And you will see the result is going to come. And for now, thank you for your time, and I'm sending you blessings.